But 4 times 4 is 8. 4 times 4 is 8. So how's the 4 times 4 is 16? It is 16. That's about
Today we're going to focus on 5 rows and 5 columns. Today we are going to talk more about area and perimeter. Everyone say area.
Area.
Perimeter.
Perimeter.
And you'll always hear those words in a question when they talk about shapes. Okay? Moving on. Area.
Area.
Raise your hand. What have we done so far to measure area? I hear voices. What have we done so far to measure area? Olivia.
We have been using triangles and squares to measure areas.
Yes. Very good. You remembered. Very good. I like those answers. Yes. That answer.
We've been practicing with going past the
Say it again.
We've been practicing making squares out of triangles.
Yes. Very good. And how do we take triangles and make a square unit out of it? Who remembers? So I have a triangle and I have another triangle. How do I make a square unit with 2 triangles or 3 triangles? And I need to measure the area using square units. Oops. Raise your hand. I hear you, but you have to raise your hand. Lesson. How do we get the area using square units? The area of a square unit or square units if we have triangles in a shape.
Put two triangles together.
Why? Why do we put 2 triangles together? What does it make? Very good. Marcelo, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, do you understand? Good. Do you understand, Eden? Eden, sorry. All right, very good. So you guys remember an area, a square unit. Find an area of a square unit of an area. Now, you might have mentioned, I feel like I missed something. You might have mentioned, so your answers, you measure area to help you know how big a shape is. So we want to know how big a shape is. So in the real world, people measure the area so that they can know what size, for example, they need to make the carpet. Or they want to know if it fits in the classroom. For example, this carpet was measured probably with the perimeter, using perimeter, which we'll learn later, and finding the area. So they'll put square units, or they'll use measuring tape to find the square units the area equals. When people measure area, they usually find out how many square units it takes to cover a shape. That's what you did. One way to measure a shape area is to cover it with small shapes and count the smaller shapes. And if you notice, when we put the shapes in there, we don't overlap it or leave space between it. Santiago, Aiden? Turn around, Aiden. Notice this is wrong. If you overlap the triangles, you're not going to get a good unit. You're not going to get a good area or a good size. Good measurements. If you leave a space, holes between the squares, you're not going to get a good measurement. Does everyone understand that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you squares today, and we're going to practice doing them. Here's an example. I have a shape Z. How many units? Okay. I have a shape. I'm going to call it Z. What shape do you see? Don't pull out.
What shape do you see? Rectangle.
Rectangle, very good. So how many units, let's estimate how many units, it will take to cover rectangle Z without leaving any holes or gaps or overlapping them. How many squares do you think will cover, or how many square units do you think will this rectangle Z be? Anyone? Anyone want to try? How many do you think? Blessing. 11. Okay, I'm going to write it down on the whiteboard. She said 11 square units. Any other guesses or estimations? Estimate. Haven? Yes. 16. Everyone say estimate.
Estimate.
That means guess, just by looking at the shape. Marcelo, what do you think? Estimate how many square units do you think this is?
10.
Okay. I like your answers. Anyone else? Yeah?
I think there's 15.
15. All right. Let's see. We're going to guess some more. Let's see what happens. So here I have 5 squares. 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares, 4 squares, 5 squares. 5 squares on top. That's a row. Everyone say 1 row equals 5 squares.
5 squares.
Okay. Do you want to choose another estimate? So I have here 11 square units, 16, 10, 15. Now, it's not complete. We're only showing you 1 row. There are more. There's more than just 1 row. Can someone give me, or change, if you want to change your estimate after you see those 5 squares?
12.
12. Blessing. 25. Elizabeth? What? 25. Alina?
I was going to say 25.
Oh, okay. I have another one. Yeah, Olivia? 25. A lot of you are saying 25. Any more guesses? What about you, Marcelo, Aiden, Santiago? 20. Marcelo said 20. Yasmin? 1,000. Okay. Okay, let's see. We'll check, Yasmin. Yeah, Justice? Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Look at the numbers. We have 20, 25, 12, and the rest of them that we had earlier without the squares. 25. So I have 4 people, 5 people say 25. Let's see. Now I'm going to click again. Let's see more. Now we have column. How many squares in the column? Everyone say column.
Column.
Everyone go up and down and say column.
Column.
Row.
Row.
How many do you see in the column? Raise your hand. Olivia. How many do you see in one column? Yeah, it's okay. What? 1, 2, 3, 4 in one column. So how many, let's see. Do you want to change your estimate? Raise your hand. Elizabeth wants to change it. 20, so you don't think it's 25 anymore? Elizabeth says 20. I'm going to cross that out. Olivia, what do you say now?
20.
She says 20. Let's cross that out. What do you think, Blessing? 20. All right. Marcelo, you think it's still 20? Okay, Marcelo thinks it's still 20. Yeah? 20. Anyone else? Yeah?
20.
20. What did you say before?
She says 12.
Okay, so I'm going to cross that one out. Any others? Justice?
20.
20. Let's see who's right.
I had. The first time I had 25.
And let's see, we have, if we skip count, remember how to skip count? How many in each row?